The events that began back in October of last year around the Penn State investigation of Jerry Sandusky has left so many of us speechless with regard to feelings that we have about the victims, the feelings about Joe Paterno, the feelings about the football program in Penn State, and the officials in Penn State. But we spend a lot of time talking about the ruling that came down from the NCAA today. And Mr. Emmert, president of the NCAA, sanctioning Penn State for the next 4 years as far as their football program is concerned, limiting the number of scholarships that they can give away. They can have any bowl appearances for the next 4 years, fining them $60 million, and last but not least, forfeiting all of their wins from 1998 until 2011. You know, a lot of people think that may be harsh, but I can't help but believe that if we were to talk to victims of child sexual abuse and ask them if they thought it was harsh, they probably would answer, $60 million is not going to make me forget what happened to me. Whether a football team wins or loses doesn't matter to me. Whether or not scholarships are taken away or whether or not bowl appearances are not going to be participated in is not going to take away the memory of what happened. And that's what I think we need to focus on, is how this tragedy, how this problem, this horrific act took place. Because you see, it's not just a university that's being penalized for the sins of one man. It's a university that's being penalized for the cover-up. And the only thing that really we need to really think about here, in my opinion, is that the message that was sent loud and clear by the officials of the Penn State University was that these victims did not matter. They put the reputation of the university ahead of these victims. They put the football program ahead of these victims. They put revenues ahead of these victims. $60 million seems like a lot of money, but it's one season's revenue out of the football program at Penn State. One season. You know, if it had happened to one child and we'd found out about it, I'm not sure that all of those penalties and all those punitive damages that were levied against Penn State would be enough to compensate that one child. But this happened over a number of years to dozens of children. And there were plenty of people in positions of authority that knew what was going on and did nothing. It is every person's responsibility in our society to protect the most vulnerable of our society. And that's our children. Their innocence, their trust, their well-being is the responsibility of every single citizen of this country. If you know of anyone who is currently harming a child or an elderly person, causing abuse or harm in any way, it is your responsibility to report that immediately to the authorities. Even if you suspect that something like that's going on, allow the authorities to investigate it and come to the bottom of it. It's not your job or my job to try to determine whether or not the allegations are true or untrue. When it involves a child needs an adult to stand up and speak. I hope you'll join me in standing up and speaking today.